Hi everyone, a warm welcome to everyone today. This event is the first event to kick off this year's festival, so thank you for registering. Feel free to let us know by typing in the chat feature where in the world you are tuning in from. We're all very excited with sharing this year's programme of events with you. If you joined us last year, you'll know it is a packed programme with lots of variety. So make sure you check out the website if you haven't already. So we hope you all enjoy our festival and please make sure to help us spread the word. So I'm just going to give you a brief introduction to myself and to our active travel hubs. So my name is Jessica Gillespie and I am an active travel officer for North Ayrshire Council. Part of my role is to manage behaviour change activities for our lovely active travel hub, the Trinity, which is based in Irvine. So now that restrictions have lifted, we're preparing to open our doors to the public very soon. If you haven't seen or been to the Trinity before, please pop by when we are open. We are located in a beautifully converted church and we're always more than happy to give you a tour around our office. So keep an eye on our Facebook page and website for opening dates. So this Pan-Ayrshire Festival it gives us the opportunity to work with the other active travel hubs in Ayrshire. We have a collective goal of promoting and encouraging walking and cycling for short journeys. This could be for leisure, for work, for recreational or other purposes. So when our services are running as normal, the hubs offer cycling skills sessions, bike maintenance sessions, led rides, and just general advice and support around walking and cycling. So hubs cover East, South and North Ayrshire. And if you'd like any more information about any of the hubs, then check out the Ayrshire Women's Cycle Festival website. So before I introduce the main event to kick off this festival, I'm just going to go over a wee bit of housekeeping. So firstly, this webinar is being recorded. This is just to allow us access to the webinar at a later date. This link to this webinar will be sent to all registered participants. Second, all audience members have been muted and you won't be able to switch on your camera. We'd still love to hear from you though, so please use the chat feature at the bottom of your screen if you want to send any comments or feedback. You can choose to send chat messages only to the panelists or to the entire audience. So you'll see that Holly has already been chatting away. Holly is an officer for the Kilmarnock Active Travel Hub, and for this event, she is our tech support and she'll also be sharing useful links and any information for the rest of the session. So moving on to the main event, we're very excited to have both SoulRiders and Bike for Good join us. Both are amazing organisations based in Glasgow. We wanted them to capture the awesome activities and events they would normally be delivering pre-COVID, and in doing so, helping to empower women on bikes and inspiring the community. So first up, we have SoulSisters, which is part of the SoulRiders group. They've created this film specifically for this festival. Obviously, due to COVID, we won't be able to see the full extent of the programme, but the film gives us a taster of what the SoulSisters group offer. We hear some amazing personal accounts from three amazing ladies, Amanda, Martha and Huda. These amazing ladies are from the SoulSisters group and tell us how the group has made a difference to their lives. And then following on from the SoulRiders film is a collection of short videos from Bike for Good. These are all older films, but again, it demonstrates the influence that these groups can have on women and on their community. Bike for Good were once known as Pedal Pathways, a women-only project, but it has now evolved into Bike for Good, offering weekly cycles as well as spokes, not blokes, bike maintenance sessions. We hope you enjoy.
Can you tell us about your journey with cycling?
Yeah, sure.
Yeah.
When I was a kid, I cycled a lot and I really liked cycling, but as an adult, I just never got the opportunity. I think it was having kids and, not wanting to go out with them because it just maybe hold you back, but you can't go as far or as fast and you're worried about their safety. But I had a friend, Gillian, that learned to ride as an adult.
Yeah.
Basically dragged me out, and she showed me so many routes, like to Paisley, to the Riverside Museum, Glasgow Green. So I'd loved it as a kid and I started really enjoying it again as an adult.
Okay. So can you tell us about your cycling journey?
Well, I learned to ride a bike like most kids do as a kid. Probably sort of as a student, I got a mountain bike and used to enjoy doing that. And then, I don't know, life happened, I had children and it wasn't, a priority. Had a busy job where I got a car. Hadn't been on a bike for years and years. Then the kids got a bit older. Met Martha. Martha was going out for a cycle. She said, "Why not come along?" And I really, really enjoyed it. I loved being out in the fresh air. And here we are.
So, can you also tell us your experiences with SoulSisters?
Yeah, sure. It was a few years ago I got to know about SoulSisters. I can't remember how I found out about them. Maybe I was looking to buy a bike. I'd had a bike as an adult, someone had given to me, and I was looking for another bike. So maybe someone recommended this place, but I can't remember. But yeah, when it came along, found out about SoulSisters, found out that they could show you bike maintenance here, and go out for group rides if you're interested, and also got some training here to be a cycle leader. So yeah, it's been good.
Yeah. And how do you think it differs from other sort of cycling groups?
I don't know if you get sort of the full experience where I've heard about other groups that I can go out with, like such as wellbeing. It's sort of good for your well-being, but I think this is the only place that they could really let us use the workshop, let us use our tools, and show us how we could do things with our bikes that weren't working or broken or just needed oil or whatever. So that was different from the kind of thing that I couldn't get that anywhere else.
Okay, so it was all sort of like under one roof kind of thing. Yeah. So can you tell us about your experiences with SoulSisters?
Well, again, I came along with Martha. Martha had found out about it. I thought it sounded a great idea. And again, having not cycled for so many years, you kind of lose a bit the confidence of, well, what happens if I have a puncture?
Yeah.
How do I do it? So it was great to get refresher training, which was here in a safe environment with friendly people, rather than out in the middle of nowhere in the pouring rain thinking, right, hang on, how do I change a tyre? So I really enjoyed that, and it was so friendly and so welcoming. It was great, and it really helped build up confidence.
It's awesome. So how has cycling and being in a group like SoulSisters helped you both physically and mentally?
I feel that being able to go out cycling has really helped improve my fitness. Sometimes throughout the winter I'll try and walk as much as I can, but I find come spring and I go out on my bike, you can just tell how much your fitness has dropped. So I find it's been really great for my fitness, and also it's good for my well-being, mental health, just being able to go out in fresh air. If you're not doing it, you don't notice that there's anything missing, but when you go out, you just feel so good afterwards. So glad that you did it.
Yeah. So can you tell us about your like how SoulSisters and cycling in general has helped you physically and mentally?
Yeah, well, I think cycling, I think a lot of us are kind of a bit lazy, think, oh, it's easier just to jump in the car. But I think if you do jump on your bike instead, you do get that benefit. You feel fitter, and I think just being out in the fresh air. And sometimes you could take a shortcut through a park rather than a polluted area of the city. And it takes actually the same length of time to get, from A to B. And if I'm doing short journeys, I do try to take the bike, and I'm glad that I have done afterwards.
And so, what do you think are the barriers to cycling today?
I think it's really road safety. I feel there are some pavements that are for people and for bikes, and you just feel that you do get in the way of people. People get annoyed if you're there in your bike, and when you're on the road, you annoy cars.
Yeah.
But it's safety. It can be scary, and if the weather's bad as well, it can be quite worrying. So I think safety will be a big barrier. Busy roads as well. So I work in town, and when I do go back, I do think with a cycle it would be up High Street, and then
so it would be so do you think cycles feel a bit out of place on the road, so like they're not welcome on the pavement, they're not welcome on the road?
I think it's becoming, there's a lot more people out on their bikes now, which is really good. And also, although there are barriers, you do see people of all different ages out cycling, which is really good. But I think there always is that thing that is, safety is a worry.
And so, do you think there are any further barriers to cycling for women specifically, or?
I guess it's, some of the places you do want to go along cycle tracks and routes that, if you find them, there can be a lot of quiet areas. So it's just like, go, but if you can't go with people, I guess it's just good having someone to go with, really.
Yeah. Okay. And what do you think are the barriers to cycling today?
Yeah, I would agree that safety from traffic, and also if you don't know an area along a new cycle path that perhaps is a bit overgrown. And it's not just from people, it's from, is there barbed wire there that's going to, or junk that's been left lying that's going to damage your bike, and now you're going to have to be stuck somewhere. I guess there's that. But the other barriers are, it's easier to jump in the car. So, we all have an inherent laziness perhaps, and it's breaking those habits and maybe saying, okay, it might take me 10 minutes longer because I have to go and get the bike out and get my helmet and think about, well, the other thing is, if I'm nipping into a shop, is there somewhere I could safely put the bike, or is the bike going to get damaged, is it going to get nicked? There's other things you have to think about when you're building in those habits, really. So and the weather. Well, there's not a lot we can do about that in Scotland, I guess.
So do you think it would help if there were more sort of like areas to lock your bike?
It might do, but I mean, for instance, where I live in the south of Glasgow, parking can be a problem in like the Shorelands or somewhere. So actually, it's easier to take a bike because it takes the same length of time. You don't have to worry about parking, but you do have to worry about where to lock it.
So do you think, because there are things like bike lockers, so that actually where you open it and you put your bike in, you can actually close it as well. So do you think those would help more people feel like it would be easier for people to get out if there was stuff like that around?
I don't know, to be honest, because I can't really envisage what they are, really.
No, that's okay. And so do you think there are any sort of specific barriers to women for cycling?
It's probably applies to all single people, specifically women. Maybe just the habit of getting back into it, and obviously the safety aspects.
Yeah. Okay. What advice would you give to women that are interested in cycling but they don't know where to start or where to begin?
I would say just try and get a second-hand bike if you can, and there's places that will help you. Even if you want to ride a bike and you can't ride a bike, there's places in Glasgow that you guys would teach someone, right?
Yes.
There's other organisations. I think at South West Community Cycles they would teach you as well, and the bike station.
Yeah.
So you're going to find someone to teach you if that's an issue, and then just having a bike and go local, don't go far.
Yeah.
Just baby steps, and then enjoy yourself.
Okay. Yeah. And what advice would you give?
Well, yeah, I think enjoying it is important, and I think finding maybe a small group of friends that will come along. I prefer it being sociable. I find it hard at something myself, but if I'm out with a friend, then it's an enjoyable way to spend an hour or two.
Yeah. And so for you, what are your aspirations or sort of goals with cycling?
I guess it's always finding new routes and going new places and trying to go a wee bit further out of your comfort zone as well. So that sort of thing.
Yeah. And so what are your aspirations or goals?
Well, I think we're all conscious now sort of environmental concerns. I'd like to think that I would use the bike for those shorter journeys where I don't need to use the car. And I would like to think that, I can work towards that, really.
Yeah. Okay. So what would you like to see happen with SoulSisters in the next few years, do you think?
Well, I think it would be good if we could organise group rides. We could find out where the women are interested in going and try and actually go to these places. Last year we cycled there a few times, and they've got the cycle lane and cars are parked in it, and I think it's 40 miles an hour road.
Yeah.
So if there's cars parked in the bike lane, you have to come out.
Yeah, you've got nowhere else to be.
Yeah, but now they've put cones all the way down to try and stop people, but you have still got the odd car that's squeezed in between the cones, but it has helped though keep it empty, which they are trying to do stuff to cancel to make it safer at least.
What would you like to see happen with SoulSisters in the next few years? I think that was it.
Well, I think trying to encourage more people out and about on the bikes. So I think to enable that, getting the word out there, running some groups, I would certainly come along. If there were some sort of guided rides for, to go somewhere, I think that would be great.
And do you think if the rides were further afield, you were mentioning like Loch Lomond and stuff, do you think that would be more attractive, and would you want that more?
I think so, as long as though it's about not feeling pressurised. I think if you haven't been on your bike for a long time, and over the winter I haven't as much as maybe in the summer, it's kind of building up to that. So maybe a couple of shorter ones, maybe going to Glasgow Green and just to cycle around there and then back home, and then maybe building up to
a longer
one.
Yeah. So have you got any hints or tips or like quotes that you live by, or?
I think let's see. It's better to try and fail than not try at all.
It's a good one.
No pressure then. Just to give it your best.
Yeah. That's awesome. So if people are interested in joining a group like SoulSisters, how would they go about joining, do you think? Or?
I think just Google SoulRiders.
Yeah.
And get a phone number, phone them up and talk to them.
Yeah.
I guess that's what I would do too.
Yeah. No, I think that's it. Yeah, thanks a lot.
Okay, cool. Thank
That's
you.
great.
Right, ready?
Good, already?
Uh-huh. Do you want me to sit there or is fine?
No, there's good. Yeah,
I think it's fine, and then we'll just...
yeah, okay.
So can you tell us about your journey with cycling?
Actually, started a long time, over 8 years maybe. I started with Backbone and the Forestry Commission, but I was so happy when I started riding the bike, tiny bit, like confident wee bit, but not outside, but I was within either Pollock Park or Shatlaroe Park, so this is the start was, but I was crying when I started just managing the bike. And my daughter was very young still, like she was like, I think about 6 years, maybe 6 years. It was really a nice journey when I started. And then after that, stopped for a while because I broke my cartilage. Oh, sorry. Yeah. Then when I found myself frustrated, I want to continue. I got in touch with SoulRider, and I knew that they can spare, like a female for me and my group as well, because I run SAWA, Scottish Arab Women Association, and the ladies were really interested in learning about cycling, bicycles, maintenance. So we were very happy that, like SoulRider managed to organize this for us. And we've done, I think, around 4 to 5 sessions maybe, and it was by Christmas time, and we stopped, and the COVID pandemic started. So the ladies were very happy, and like some of them from first time started riding, and we were just going around. I was near the Emirates Arena, that space there, so it was really good. Yeah.
That's awesome. And what sort of got you into cycling to begin with?
Just like fitness-wise and being in the nature. I think this is part of our religion as well. It's connecting to the nature. Yeah. So it's good, and yeah.
And can you tell us more about your experiences with SoulSisters?
Actually, the group that we worked with, they were supervising our group. They were very helpful. Some of them one-to-one, that when they see that any of the ladies are struggling, so they will be with her. They don't leave her, and the rest of us, we will be going around and, giving, clear instruction. And they were very caring and helpful.
Yeah. And did you find it? Did you find it helpful to do more have those experiences in the bike workshop itself, working on bikes?
Yeah, this was the first time experience for my group. I've done it before in the first when first we start with Backbone and Forestry Commission, but it was the first time for the ladies to get into changing the tire where it's got hole or something, how to repair it, how to put it in the water. So this was something really new, and they enjoyed it.
Awesome. And how has cycling and being in a group like SoulSisters, and just cycling in general, helped you both physically and mentally?
It's I don't know. I speak from the group side. How they see it. It's just getting together. Going outside in the nature again. It will blow all this. Mental issues that you would have it accumulating due to the the nature of the weather here, or being at home, or problems that people are facing. Being in a group always strengthen your mental health.
Okay. Yeah. And What do you think are the barriers to cycling today, or getting into cycling?
I mean, regardless the weather, I mean, if the weather is not nice, you can't go cycling unless, it's acceptable. I'm not talking about snow or, it's very cold weather, but the other issue would be, the barrier would be having female instructor or, somebody to support help.
Yeah.
So this is with the Soul Sister would be great.
Yeah, so having a female.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
And of course affording the bicycles, but now it's available, even my next bike and
next bike, exactly. And do you think there are any additional barriers being from a minority group?
Maybe for us as Muslim women, for hijab, the way that we need to dress, or like when we are going out. Like we feel, I saw some of the sisters, they had even long dresses, but not very. I mean, underneath it's something decent, like outfit. It should be okay.
Yeah, which is fun. And what advice would you give to women that are interested in cycling but they don't know where to start?
I think give it a try. I would say give it a try. I thought, like I'm not going to learn it all my life.
Yeah.
But suitable bike and nice weather. We've got nice weather now coming, hopefully. So this is the chance. I would encourage, like the ladies to go out and try. Even I was speaking to my daughter. Even if we don't get now somebody to train the group, I'm going to try to get just next bike, and we would give it a try and go to Blokes Park or somewhere. Yeah.
No, that's great. And so personally, what are your aspirations or goals with cycling?
I want really to get a group of ladies to go out cycling, like certain times, like we set the time and go together, have a picnic, or, I'm fed up of driving cars.
Yeah. So sort of having like a regular group of ladies going out.
To go out, once a week or two, even if it's once a month at least, but to start it.
And are there any sort of like hints, tips, like quotes that you yourself live by? Just in so anything like that you find sort of important in life?
Just you need to have a goal, and this is the important thing. So you are, like working towards the goal. Planning is very important as well. Planning, organizing, your day by day, life, multitasking, which I'm always doing, not twice, 3 times, 4 times a day. So this is helping me. I mean, even getting here today, you know what I mean? So I had to multitask more than one thing and delegate things that, children can do it or somebody else can help, and focus on the goal.
Yeah, okay. And are there any other groups like SoulSisters in Scotland or in Glasgow that people can join?
There is, I know about what's called Woodland Wheels, because my daughter, my husband, they go all the time regularly with them. And they do sort of storytelling sometimes during the ride, which is really good things. They're a nice thing, and then they will pick some herbs or plants, and then they end sitting for a while, resting and cooking. Like make marmalade or jam, or sometimes herbal tea, which is really good and rewarding for your ride.
No, that's awesome. Thanks a lot.
Thank you.
Thanks a lot for that.
Thank you.
I'm Ailey from Bike for Good. I've been working on a year-long project called Pedal Pathways, which is encouraging women to get active through cycling. I've been going once a week to the Glendale Women's Cafe in Pollokshields, taking bikes to them and teaching women from scratch, helping building up their confidence to cycle on roads and integrate cycling into their lifestyles.
क्योंकि मैं आधा मूसा का पहन के ट्राई कर रही थी नहीं पाया था पिछले नहीं मैं भी लेके गई quite a large one at the back.
When was the last time you cycled? Before
Last
you
time?
did this?
When I was 6 years old.
Oh, wow, that's a long time.
Yeah, in Pakistan.
Why did you stop?
Because you know, our Asian people say, you know, girls not allowed to outside do cyclings in Pakistan.
Oh, really?
And here is a nice, that's why I want to do this one.
You've got the
here.
opportunity,
Yeah, I enjoy a lot. I have confidence. Yeah, I want to, you know, learn everything.
Do you feel like it's too tall for you? Yeah. So the reason why, if you can touch the ground when you're pushing, that's okay. Because when you start to pedal, it's very hard if the seat is low down because your knees have to come up very high.
Cycling is very good exercise.
What about a way of getting around? Would you use it as a mode of transport?
I use transport in car. Car comfortable more than bicycle.
At the moment?
Yeah. Now is a bicycle. I love bicycle.
Did you cycle before?
No, I didn't before in bicycle. First time. It's very hard for me. But now it's okay. I like it. Maybe love it.
You remember, we hold the brakes when we're getting on. We get on from the left hand side. You can tilt the bike and step through here, or you can put your leg over like that.
Sadaf actually was a beginner.
Yes.
So we started by taking the pedals off and showing you how to get onto the bike, using the brakes, and then starting to move with the bike, using our feet on the ground.
Little bit confidence, holding your feet up and find pedaling, and then start doing more pedaling and more confidence to do balance the cycle.
I think it's easier going the other way.
And
First session, I learned how to ride a bike, but I don't know anything about it. Now I'm learning more confidence to do riding a bike on the road. But I'm not confident with cars, with people. It's dangerous for me or others too. So I'm learning this now, how to curve, how to turn, how to do with other people's, if they are coming, how do I do slow down and wait for them, or do a bell thing to ensure them I'm coming.
to let them know that you're passing.
Yeah.
We've built up from not cycling at all to now being able to cycle to the city centre on the cycle path, and a little bit of on-road.
Yes.
Yeah. And your children cycle?
Yes.
And have you been cycling with them yet?
Yes. We went to Glasgow Green in summer holidays, and we do a small picnic there. Cycling is very good. Yes, it's very good. And very healthy exercise, you can say. My husband doing now, he said, okay, what you do, tell me, I'm going to do same things. So I can lose my weight and I'm more active with kids. I said, that's okay. I will teach you everything with me.
Lovely.
Yeah. I love it. Yeah. These things we are learning now. I'm learning. And more things I'm going to learn with her. And one day I will be a cyclist.
Yeah. Oh, you are a cyclist already.
Yeah.
So my name's Hannah, and I volunteer with Bike for Good on Saturdays, and I've been doing that for the past 2 months. About 3 months ago, I went to a women-only bike maintenance class, that was taught by women, and so it was like a women-only space. And over 2 days, we learned like the basics of gears and brakes and changing tires. There were about 6 of us, and we also had like really nice discussions about kind of feeling maybe intimidated by walking into like a bike shop of men-only mechanics, and also like how cost effective it could be to be able to fix your own bike and know what everyone's talking about. I've really enjoyed, since coming here, like doing an activity that's mostly outdoors, and the kind of attitude that it's whatever the weather, like you go out, and just seeing like it's a really positive activity in terms of like seeing the kids happy and parents happy, and like the joy that that brings, but also the importance of that independence that it gives everyone to be able to ride a bike, and when you're an adult, like how that gets you from A to B for any city. I've learned like things about kind of like owning your position on the road and making yourself be seen as possible, which makes a lot of sense, and not kind of hiding out the way.
Do you think of your cycling as something that is connected to like a societal change or a cultural shift?
Yeah, I'd hope so. I'd hope that I'm like promoting it even within like my friendship group. Like even trying to sit with them and figure out cycle routes for their like way to work, which is like what I've done with a friend recently. I'd quite like to get some qualifications and then teach young people and people in the area to cycle. It's a really welcoming and non-judgmental place, so you could come in at whatever knowledge you have about bikes, and it's encouraging of people who want to learn, and also people that want to train and become more of an ambassador for cycling in the city.
My name is Sajda. I'm Sajda Ahsan, and we're here at Bike for Good. So my journey into cycling started when I put together a list of things that I wanted to achieve. One of those things was cycling, and Bike for Good was, in the local area, convenient for me. I approached them and asked them, if they've got any kind of lessons or anything like that I could actually learn to cycle. And really that's when my journey started. I was able to come in every kind of Saturday, dedicate like an hour to coming in and learning to cycle. The instructors were absolutely fantastic, really encouraging, very motivational, and really their passion for cycling is actually infectious. I think I've got the cycling bug, really. In terms of my cycling, I've really kind of progressed a lot in terms of my confidence as well and my cycling ability. I went from obviously just kind of cycling in the local park under instruction to now being able to cycle on the roads, albeit the quieter roads, but it's still a cycling process, so it's still a development process. So hopefully one day I'll be able to commute to work by cycling. That's I suppose one of the reasons why I come back to Bike for Good all the time. Is because they had that service available where you're actually able to borrow a bicycle from them without any cost involved, and it also limits the kind of responsibility on my part as well, in terms of having to be able to manage, if I bought my own bicycle, having to be able to maintain it and store it, etc. So Bike for Good is fantastic in the sense that they've got that facility available in place, so I can just pop in whenever I'm able to borrow a bike for an hour or two and then return it to them in one piece. Obviously there's zero, I think, carbon emissions with cycling. It's obviously beneficial for your health, and I actually see cycling as a bit of an adventure for myself. When I learned to drive, I remember someone saying to me that when you've got your license, it's like freedom. When I'm sitting on a bicycle, that's freedom for me, basically. All the staff, the volunteers in Bike for Good are fantastic. They're really supportive, they're motivational, they really, really encourage you. It helps with the community spirit as well. There's a lot of, in this particular area here where Bike for Good is set up, it's a diverse community, and they cater for everyone's needs basically. So it's not a case of, you know, you come from a certain background and they won't be able to help you, etc. It's, you know, they're there for everyone. It's really a community organisation, I think. I've been trying to encourage my family and friends actually, like get into cycling, people, come on.
My name's Jo Harris, and joined, well, I came to Bike for Good for the first time in January, I think, or February, whenever the suffragette ride was going on. It was a really nice group of folk, and they asked me to come to the ladies' rides, so I do the ladies' rides on Thursdays. And we've been all over Glasgow. We've found, you know, little secret routes that get you into the city centre or out to the parks, and you know, it's been really good for my confidence, and I really, really enjoy the rides. Just enjoy the social interaction with everybody. Well, it is the friendship, but it's a lovely bit of exercise on a Thursday morning, and sometimes Saturday mornings if you want. Done the 40-mile canal loop.
Amazing.
It's too much.
It's good to know your limits, isn't it?
That's my limit, yeah, not doing that again. And I got my neighbour, she started coming as well, and she's really into it as well. She's learned how to instruct and do the guided rides. I haven't got a car anymore, and it is really about the lightness on the planet. And so I really, that's why I wanted to ride here as well, and ride around the city. And I just love it that Victoria Road's having a cycle track put in. So I've just stopped using a car. So this is something that I really need to learn to ride in traffic now, and learn to take my place in the road and not feel scared. Oh, I am feeling much more optimistic about it all at the moment from a very, you know, I've been, you know, sort of worried about climate change since the 80s, but nothing seemed to happen. No, you can't have alternative energy. No, you can't have a place without cars. The car is king and all this stuff. So, but finally, people are listening and they're just changing. So I just hope it's really quick.
In our house, everybody knows how to ride a bike, all except me. And sometimes they make my fun because they said, "Oh, you don't know how to ride the bike." No, I can say that I can ride the bike as well. My name is Tanveer Ruhi.
And how did you get involved with Bike for Good?
See, from my childhood, I want to learn bike, and on my 42nd birthday, I asked my husband present as a bike lessons. Then he forgot, and one day I saw in the community center, Bike for Good people, they put in the jug. They were making smoothie in the jug, and I said, I want a shot, and then I take a shot, and I like it, and they gave me the leaflet, and I read it, and it came to the Bike for Good people, and they are very helpful.
Why did you want to cycle?
Oh, see, now I know I can do exercise, mind and body together, because I'm very exercise person. I want to use my mind and body together. In cycling, I can use both of them. This is the reason. And another reason is pollution is another reason, because so many cars, so many oil, it's good for pollution. I was kind of scared, but somebody always comes with me. They help me very good way. They were so good, and even though sometimes I feel like I'm never gonna learn this, even I try my best, and then I'll be a little bit disappointed. And they said, "No, you will learn it. You will do it. You will do it." And this thing make me, yes, I can do it.
How often do you borrow a bike from Bike for Good?
Every day nearly. Like when they open, they're not open Monday. Otherwise, I will try my best to come and take the shot and take the bike in the park. They are helpful. They never say no. Next step is coming on the road. I am still connected with those people they will take me on the road. I want to go on the road as well.
And what does cycling feel like?
Oh, I love it. I love it because I can do cycle now. I can go into the park by myself. Even over there, Asian ladies ask me, where did you learn from? And I tell Bike for Good people, and they are very helpful. And I tell them, come on, I will show you then if you want to learn. Because our Asian ladies keep quiet. They don't tell what they want. But I am a little bit good at that because if you don't say, you don't get it.
Is there anything else you would like to say about Bike for Good?
Oh, so many maybe other Asian ladies want to do it. They will come forward and do it.
So welcome back. I've lost count on how many times I've watched those films and they never fail to inspire me. And I hope you all felt inspired as well. So thank you again thank you again to SoulRiders and Bike for Good for creating and providing these films. I'm sure Holly, if she hasn't done so already, will provide links to both groups and you can check these organisations out. So hopefully the films demonstrate quite clearly the impact that these social groups can have on women for women. They certainly inspire and shape future generations to come. So unfortunately, that is all the time we have for our first event. A huge thank you to everyone for tuning in. You will all be entered into a prize draw to win £20 worth of vouchers and a lovely goodie bag. The winner will be contacted in the next week, so good luck. Next up, we have our live talk and Q&A event with Kaylee Hagel, who is the world champion race runner. Race running, also known as frame running, is an athletic discipline for disabled athletes or race runners. So tune in to hear about her remarkable journey. This event starts at 8 o'clock, so there is still plenty of time to register if you haven't already. So just to give you a heads up, as soon as you close this browser, a short survey will pop up on your screen. It will literally take 2 minutes to complete this survey. If you can fill this in, it will help us put on free festivals like this in the future. Don't forget to check out the rest of our programme. Full programme details are on our website. It has a great variety of cycle-related information to cater for all levels of cyclists, and it's something that we have spent months preparing, so we are all very proud of it. You'll find details of tomorrow's and Friday's events. You can watch our mini film festival selection. You'll find some brilliant bike maintenance videos created by the wonderful women at Bike for Good, and that's specifically for this festival. We have some amazing bike stories from local women, and we've got links to local cycle groups and clubs. And if you're sharing any of our materials or talking about our festival online, please don't forget to use the hashtag AWCycleFestival21. Thanks again for watching, and we hope to see you soon.